dope, bro. But what got you into the art, into, painting and creating, bro? Like,
well, I mean, I've always been in the art. I've always been drawing. The very first time I drew, really, as far as focusing, I was a little kid, and I vaguely remember this memory. But I think I was around 4 years old, and I went over to Canada where my cousins used to stay. And a friend of my cousin, he was an artist himself, or like he was trying to be an artist, and he'd always draw these Dragon Ball Z comics.
oh, okay.
And I remember like watching him draw, and I'm like, dang, that's kind of cold. I had never seen anybody kind of just like go with it. Like he was in a zone going with it.
Yeah.
And my 4-year-old mind, I was like, oh, that's cold. That's cold. That's cold. That's cold. And I remember like when I got to kindergarten, I'd always pack like whatever paper I found, whether it was a napkin, whether it was on some like a card, like an index card or any piece of paper. I just bring it and I start drawing with crayons. And I'd be drawing on the back of assignment papers. I'd be drawing on toilet tissue if I could find it. I'd always be doing that. So I'd always been into the arts, right? As I grew up, around 4th grade, I had a really, really, really good art teacher. I had 2 really good art teachers, right?
4th grade?
4th grade. I remember her, and it sucks that I'm telling the story, but I can't remember her name. But
hey, that's a long time ago in the 4th grade, bro. That's hard to remember all year.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like if I saw it, I'd remember, right?
Yeah.
But it was just it was this Black woman, and she, I don't know why she wanted to invest time in me, but she was like, you have a gift for this. And it was those little things. She was like, no, I mean, everybody would draw whenever we had assignments, and she'd always be like, she'd look at my paper just a little bit longer, I noticed, and she'd be like, what were you trying to do here? Like with other people, she'd be like, oh, that's a good drawing. Oh, that's a good drawing. That's a good painting.
Yeah, right.
And then she'd look at me and she'd be like, what are you trying to do here? And I'd tell her like, I was just, trying to draw something from what I saw today. I wouldn't be drawing much. At least I don't think I remember. I'd be drawing like dragons or characters that I would create from my imagination, just to mimic like the Dragon Ball Z or the shows I'd watch. And I guess she would she paid attention to the sort of theme I'd have, apparently. And she's like, you know what, I want you to start coming after school for this art club, right? Mm-hmm. And so I was the youngest member of it. She was like, everybody say hello. He's the youngest member, teach him everything you know. And ever since then, it was kind of like, oh, I've always liked drawing, but her sort of
like up to a level and you're intrigued to it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like it was, I didn't know it until, I grew up and understood what she was trying to do. I wasn't paying any mind. I thought she was just like, okay, cool. Like it's another, and I get to do something more. I get to draw a little more. That's cool. But, learning what I had learned,
that right there was like your gateway to like becoming this person here. And that's what's so important about teachers, bro. Like if you got a good teacher, like they really impact your life. And that's what makes me mad about it's a lot of teachers out there who just are just there passing time, getting a check, you know what I mean, when they can really affect a child's life. I've never had a teacher like that, bro, until I got to college. After I got to college and I started writing and stuff, I took a writing class or whatever, and I had a professor who had took a liking to my writing and stuff like that and told me that I could really do it. I had never, I always knew I could write and make up stories and stuff like that, but I never thought of it as being a job, like, because I was always like an athlete and stuff like that. So I was just into sports, but I never thought that I could turn writing into a career. You know what I mean? Like I could write for TV, or I could, you know, do these type of things that I'm doing today. And it's all because of her, that professor at Texas State who pushed me in that direction and just gave me that confidence that I could do it. You know what I mean? And confidence is so important in young minds, especially at that age that you were at in the 4th grade. You're so impressionable. Like,
Absolutely.
and yeah, man. So that's like super dope that you that teacher was put into your path on purpose, bro. You know what I mean? Like that's not just some random thing. For her to see your talent that young and see your potential is a special thing, man, and a blessing. Because a lot of kids who have talent, they get overlooked and just go in the system, or not in the system as far as jail, but just stay in like the school system and get looked over. You know what I mean? So that's really dope, bro. That's like really dope, man.